The Nuphy Air75 V2 is a beautiful mechanical keyboard with a very low profile. But can a semi-portable mechanical option really live up to those good looks in terms of performance? Let's find out. Upon unboxing the Air75, you can immediately tell this is going to be a beautiful piece of technology. So much care has gone into making this a memorable experience, from the design of the boxes themselves, including this nice little keyboard guard that tells you how to pronounce the word Nuphy, which honestly I wasn't sure of myself, to the stickers that you get included in the packet, and this lovely keyboard pin that I got for pre-ordering. You know straight away that Nuphy are a company who really care about every single detail of their products, and that is exactly what shines through when you actually get to the keyboard and start exploring what a beautiful design this really is. Like other Nuphy keyboards, this is a fairly minimalist design, but they're not afraid to show a pop of colour here or there. What's new on this second generation of the Air75 though is a more transparent base that allows you to see into the keyboard. They've colour matched a lot of the internal components with the exterior design too. The Air75 now has foldable feet rather than just magnetic ones, and you get some nice switches that allow you to really clearly see whether you're in wireless mode, 2.4 GHz, or using wireless Bluetooth. Nuphy have introduced several of their own proprietary switches for this keyboard, but they were all sold out when I was pre-ordering my version, so I ended up going with a brown switch. I'm used to using cherry blue switches myself, but I thought this might actually be a keyboard I can take out into public spaces, so I wanted something that was a little bit more subtle. Let's take a listen and let me know in the comments if you think I made the right choice. So as you can see, this isn't going to be a super thocky keyboard with that fairly slim profile, but it does give you a really nice audible feedback, and it feels really nice to type on as well. The fact that it is a lower profile means you have less action between your fingers and the base, and that means that it's not going to be as tiring to type on as some other keyboards. Honestly, I'm not the most dexterous typist, but having spent a little bit of time with this keyboard, I've now adjusted completely and feel that it's an incredibly comfortable way to get through long periods of typing. And it's accurate too, thanks to the new connectivity that's been brought about by this second generation. That's because the V2 has a 1000 Hz polling rate compared to the 500 of the previous model. Combined with some upgrades to the chip architecture, this makes it very low latency. Out of the box, the key bindings are compatible with iOS devices as well, so if you want to click on Spotlight or Dictation, then this is all pre-programmed into the keyboard, and I find that really convenient. That's not to say it's without its problems, because I've definitely had some issues when connecting through Bluetooth, where the top two rows of the keyboard just seem to stop working at all. It seems like my Mac Mini is briefly losing connectivity and then forgetting which kind of keyboard it's connected to. But at least if you want to go with a wired option anyway, the cable you receive with this keyboard is color matched to perfection and looks brilliant as part of the same design. So let's talk accessories, because one of the other cool things about Nuphy is that there's loads of different add-ons that you can buy for these keyboards. My favourite is this series of desk mats that Nuphy have created with contour inspired by some of the great mountains of this world. And I actually picked up the Mont Blanc model long before I even had a Nuphy keyboard, which was part of what gave me the confidence to actually go out and buy one in the first place. It's almost a geological surveillance map of Mont Blanc, and it even details how high its peaks are, as well as its exact location on the Earth. I love the way it catches the light differently throughout the day, and it feels great underneath your arms too. Of course, you can support your wrists a little further by picking up the wrist rest. Honestly, I don't think this is essential for anybody, and it's actually really comfortable to type on the keyboard without using a wrist rest. But I do think this is a really sleek object in itself, and I love how it matches up with the new transparent base. However, the accessory that has intrigued me the most has absolutely been this folio case. The case itself is a really clever design. It wraps around the keyboard and almost looks like a purse. You unfold it and find a magnetic base that snaps onto the bottom of the keyboard, and then you fold back the other side of the case to provide a rest point for your iPad. Honestly, this isn't the sturdiest way of securing your iPad. You have to get the angle just right, and then be hopeful that nobody brushes past your table, because you will send your iPad flying. However, if you just want one keyboard for your desktop computer at home and your iPad on the go, you don't want to have to spend £300 for a Magic Keyboard, then this is actually a really nice option. Remember that plastic guard from the unboxing? You can definitely put that guard over the keyboard now, and then you've got yourself a nice hard shell inside the folio case. It really is a lovely case and a well presented way of making this keyboard feel a little bit more portable. But if you also want to take a trackpad or a mouse with you, then you're just going to be adding accessories that need to fit into your bag somehow. Nuphy, if you're watching, why don't you think about stitching on a little sleeve where I could stow my trackpad whenever I want to take this on the go? Because V2 of the Air75 is just a keyboard that I want to keep typing on wherever I am. Yes, it has that beautiful aesthetic, but it also backs it up with some solid connectivity and performance. Now this is the Logitech Casa, and in essence it could be a very similar proposition to the Air75. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in a bit.